glass house. You not throw stone.
This audience.
Hello. What are you
You say you live in a glass house. You should not throw stone. I want you to expatiate on that. And secondly, why did you say caution the Yoruba for describing the installation of high school as sacrilegious?
Okay, very good. Unfortunately, there will be there's not enough time, but I will go briefly to why I use that phrase.
He had opportunity to see documents, to see the economic position of Uhumude, Ikpobaoka, and Urion local government areas that were not under his territory. So, Heredia started building his mafia network. Then he was known as Prince. He had opportunity to see documents, to see the economic position of Uhumude, Ikpobaoka, and Urion local government areas that were not under his territory. So, Heredia started building his mafia network. Then he was known as Prince Solomon Akenzwa. This was prior to his
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
So, in the course of your presentation,
Yes, sir.
you said he who lives in a glass house should not throw stone.
This audience.
Hello. What are you
You say you live in a glass house. You should not throw stone. I want you to expatiate on that. And secondly, why did you say caution the Yoruba for describing the installation of high school as sacrilegious?
Okay, very good. Unfortunately, there will be there's not enough time, but I will go briefly to why I use that phrase. Prince Oromia came to invade Igodomigodo in 12th century AD. During the invasion, they didn't succeed. He deliberately defiled, raped, and pregnated our daughter, Princess Eyimide, which gave birth to the first Oba of Benin. So the whole of Obaeweka dynasty, they are illegitimate, they are illicit, they are burnt children. They are not supposed to. The Oba of Benin is the son of our daughter. And how can the son of our daughter ruling us and still insulting us? That's why we say that those who live in glass houses should not throw stone. Besides that, it has never happened in the history of Benin. Oba Eredewa slept with his own sister Ikoyeme, an Oba daughter, to produce the current Oba Ewuare II. It's an abomination in Benin. It has never happened. It has never happened. It's so strange. Then, that is even the worst. He himself has even done worse than what the father did. He's always attracted to his sisters, to his siblings. He has had children from his direct siblings. He's sleeping with virtually all his siblings in the palace. This is an abomination in Benin for a brother to sleep with a sister. It has never happened before. But today it's very common in that over there. And they are stood there. How can somebody live in a glass house be throwing stone? It is.
You say you live in a glass house. You should not throw stone. I want you to expatiate on that. And secondly, the Yoruba for describing the installation of high school as sacrilegious.
Okay, very good. Unfortunately, there will be there's not enough time, but I will go briefly to why I use that phrase. Prince Oromia came to invade Igodomigodo in 12th century AD. During the invasion, they didn't succeed. He deliberately defiled, raped, and pregnated our daughter, Princess Eyimide, which gave birth to the first Oba of Benin. So the whole of Obaeweka dynasty, they are illegitimate, they are illicit, they are burnt children. They are not supposed to. The Oba of Benin is the son of our daughter. And how can the son of our daughter ruling us and still insulting us? That's why we say that those who live in glass houses should not throw stone. Besides that, it has never happened in the history of Benin. Oba Eredewa slept with his own sister Ikoyeme, an Oba daughter, to produce the current Oba Ewuare II. It's an abomination in Benin. It has never happened. It has never happened. It's so strange. Then, that is even the worst. He himself has even done worse than what the father did. He's always attracted to his sisters, to his siblings. He has had children from his direct siblings. He's sleeping with virtually all his siblings in the palace. This is an abomination in Benin for a brother to sleep with his sister. It has never happened before. But today it's very common in that over there. And they are stood there. How can somebody live in a glass house with throwing stone? It is wrong. So it is therefore annoying to hear them saying that my own king is sent. His installation is sacrilegious. When the person talking to person sponsoring this campaign is even more sacrilegious. It's no more sacrilegious. That the son of our daughter today is our king, and we are worshiping him. We are not dragging the stool of the Oba of Benin with them. They are not interested. Allow us bear our father, which is Ogiame. They quietly stole it without letting us know. By 1968, Ogiame was already a gazetted king. Of them.
Ogiame atop
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
So in the course of your presentation,
Yes, sir.
you used two phrases.
This audience.
And
Hello.
Not true story. I want you to expatiate on that. And secondly, why did you say caution the Oba for describing the installation of school as sacrilegious?
Okay, very good. Unfortunately, there will be there's not enough time, but I will go briefly to why I use that phrase. Prince Oromia came to invade Igodomigodo in 12th century AD. During the invasion, they didn't succeed. He deliberately defiled, raped, and pregnated our daughter, Princess Eyimide, which gave birth to the first Oba of Benin. So the whole of Ewuare dynasty, they are illegitimate, they are illicit, they are burnt children. They are not supposed to. The Oba of Benin is the son of our daughter. And how can the son of our daughter ruling us and still insulting us? That's why we say that those who live in glass houses should not throw stone. Besides that, it has never happened in the history of Benin. Oba Eredewa slept with his own sister Ikoyeme, an Oba daughter, to produce the current Oba Ewuare II. It's an abomination in Benin. It has never happened. It has never happened. It's so strange. Then, that is even the worst. He himself has even done worse than what the father did. He's always attracted to his sisters, to his siblings. He has had children from his direct siblings. He's sleeping with virtually all his siblings in the palace. This is an abomination in Benin for a brother to sleep with his sister. It has never happened before. But today it's very common in that over there. And they are stood there. How can somebody live in a glass house with throwing stone? It is wrong. So it is therefore annoying to hear them saying that my own king is sent. This is 1979 Ethiopian Treaty. Now, third from either right or left is the current Ogiame of Utanta, Rich Arisco, Senate JP. Only direct male children are allowed to play this role during. Thank you for coming. And we hope.
Maybe I have one or two questions.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yoruba for describing the installation of the school as sacrilegious.
Okay, very good. Unfortunately, there will be there's not enough time, but I will go briefly to why I use that phrase. Prince Oromia came to invade Igodomigodo in 12th century AD. During the invasion, they didn't succeed. He deliberately defiled, raped, and pregnanted our daughter, Princess Eyimide, which gave birth to the first Oba of Benin. So the whole of Ewuare dynasty, they are illegitimate, they are illicit, they are burnt children. They are not supposed to. The Oba of Benin is the son of our daughter. And how can the son of our daughter ruling us and still insulting us? That's why we said that those who live in glass houses should not throw stone. Besides that, it has never happened in the history of Benin. Oba Eredawa slept with his own sister Ikoyeme, an Oba daughter, to produce the current Oba Ewuare II. It's an abomination in Benin. It has never happened. It has never happened. It's so strange. Then, that is even the worst. He himself has even done worse than what the father did. He's always attracted to his sisters, to his siblings. He has had children from his direct siblings. He's sleeping with virtually all his siblings in the palace. This is an abomination in Benin for a brother to sleep with a sister. It has never happened before. But today it's very common in that over there. And they are stood there. How can somebody live in a glass house be throwing stone? It is wrong. So it is therefore annoying to hear them saying that my own king is sent. His installation is sacrilegious. When the person talking to person sponsoring this campaign is even more sacrilegious.
Yoruba for describing the installation of the school as sacrilegious.
Okay, very good. Unfortunately, there will be there's not enough time, but I will go briefly to why I use that phrase. Prince Oromia came to invade Igodomigodo in 12th century AD. During the invasion, they didn't succeed. He deliberately defiled, raped, and pregnanted our daughter, Princess Eyimide, which gave birth to the first Oba of Benin. So the whole of Ewuare dynasty, they are illegitimate, they are illicit, they are burnt children. They are not supposed to. The Oba of Benin is the son of our daughter. And how can the son of our daughter ruling us and still insulting us? That's why we said that those who live in glass houses should not throw stone. Besides that, it has never happened in the history of Benin. Oba Eredawa slept with his own sister Ikoyeme, an Oba daughter, to produce the current Oba Ewuare II. It's an abomination in Benin. It has never happened. It has never happened. It's so strange. Then, that is even the worst. He himself has even done worse than what the father did. He's always attracted to his sisters, to his siblings. He has had children from his direct siblings. He's sleeping with virtually all his siblings in the palace. This is an abomination in Benin for a brother to sleep with a sister. It has never happened before. But today it's very common in that over there. And they are stood there. How can somebody live in a glass house be throwing stone? It is wrong. So it is therefore annoying to hear them saying that my own king is sent. His installation is sacrilegious. When the person talking to person sponsoring this campaign is even more sacrilegious. It's not more sacrilegious. That the son of our daughter today is our king, and we are worshiping him. We are not dragging the stool of the Oba of Benin with them. They are not interested. Allow us bear our father name, which is Ogiame. They quietly stole it without letting us know. By 1968, Ogiame was already a gazetted king. Then by 1979, without our knowledge, he went and created another stool in the Oba of Benin Palace and said that we are now a chief under him, which is criminal, which is fraudulent. So those who live in glass houses should not throw stone. Another question.
Sir,
Eh?
just yesterday, we overheard that the Benin Traditional Council appealing to the Edo State government in respect of Ogonure from the graveyard that palace belongs to Jamel family. What is your reaction to this?
Ugonere belongs to Ogiame royal dynasty. That is where we normally bury our kings. In fact, that place was owned by us. In fact, we even pity them. There's a caveat emptor we have published in the Vanguard. In some local papers over that. We had yesterday and we were just laughing. But maybe what we need to do again, for those of them who don't know, we are going to revamp that publication again in the Vanguard for them to know that that place does not belong to the Oba of Benin. It belongs to the great Ogiame royal dynasty. We had it last night, so we are already preparing a statement on that. But for now, we want to caution them that there
Where near do I have Sajin account?
this is 1979 Ewuare Treaty. Now, third from either right or left is the current Ogiame of Utanta, Rich Arisco Semige JP. Only direct male children are allowed to play this role during only direct male children are allowed to play this role at every Ewuare Treaty. Now, Ewuare Treaty is when we normally reenact our treaty with the Oba of Benin, where our forefathers leased Benin Kingdom to the Oba of Benin. So third from either right or left, that is Rich Ogiame Rich Arisco Semige JP. That's to tell you that he's a direct son of Ogiame family. That is this picture, taken 1979. When he lost his father, 2005, during the burial, this was the invitation card he printed, the Ogiame royal family of Benin Kingdom. This card was printed 2005. If it wasn't our son, we couldn't have done this. These are records. But the press briefing today is centered on his paternity. So we have done this to prove to you that he is a direct son of the royal dynasty. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Ogami Adambe!
Gentlemen of the press, good afternoon. You are welcome to the palace of the great Ogiame royal dynasty. Our attention has been drawn to some conflicting stories propagated in some quarters, which bordered on the followings. 1. The paternity of our revered king, His Imperial Majesty Rich Arisco Semige JP, OOS, the current 24th Ugiame of Benin, Utantan Kingdom, Benin City, Edo South, Igodomigodo land of Edo State. 2. The whereabouts of Ugiame Osabo Okonra. 3. The mode of succession of Ugiame Royal Stool. We call this press conference to put the record straight once and for all. The Great Ugiame Royal Stool and the Great Ugiame Royal Palace. The Great Ugiame Royal Stool and the Great Ugiame Royal Palace predated the colonial administration that gazetted the Great Ugiame Royal Stool and the Great Ugiame Royal Palace as national monument in 1959. It will interest you to know that this is the only royal palace gazetted by the colonial masters, which they handed over to the federal government during independence in 1960. The Ugiame Stool, Ugiame Palace, was also recognized by UNESCO, contrary to the belief that the Oba of Benin Palace was also a national monument, which is not true, due to the Armageddon that before the palace in 1897 invasion. In addition to the Great Ugiame Royal Stool, recognized in the Midwestern State of Nigeria Gazette, number 59, volume 5, and MSLN number 37, dated 7th day of November 1968, tied to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Constitution, Suspension, and Modification Degree 1966, Chief's Law Cap 19, which is also protected by Part V, Section 38 and 39 of the Benin State Traditional Rulers and Chief Edict of 1979. The appeal court judgment by Justice Jimmy Olukayode Baba of Appeal Court in the appeal case number CAB/99/2016 also confirmed that the Great Ugiame Royal Stool is a recognized instrument. Here, Justice Jimmy Olukayode Baba of Appeal Court, sitting in Benin City, Edo State, I'm quoting him now. It is my humble view that the Ugiame of Benin Chieftaincy is one of the recognized instruments, MSLN 37 of 1968, see page 37 of the judgment delivered by Jimmy Olukayode Baba, JCA, dated Wednesday, 16th day of November 2016 in Benin City, Edo State. The issue of paternity. His Imperial Majesty Rich Arisco Semige JP, OOS, the current 24th Ugiame of Benin Utantan Kingdom, Benin City, Edo South, Igodomigodo land of Edo State, is a direct scion of the great Ugiame Royal dynasty. His biological father, late Prince Daniel Osemige Owumese, is the direct male child of late Prince Owumese Ogino. Late Prince Owumese Ogino is the direct male child of Prince Ogino Ekunwe, while late Prince Ogino Ekunwe is the direct male child of Ugiame of Ewuare. The aspect of maternity. Ugiame Rich Arisco mother late Mrs. Victoria Ayeke Yogbeti Osemige ní Edagbon Osawe of Ilobi village in Ewuare local government of Edo State, hails from the family of Iyase of Ido in Ovia Southwest LG of Edo State. The mother is not our daughter. The mother is not We hope this will put to rest all the conflicting reports surrounding the true paternity of our king, because no one can know the sea more than the fish. It is on record that Oba of Benin, known as Ewuare the First, and the area known as Benin Kingdom, was leased to them by Ogiso Ogiame Irebo via the memorable Etopaga Treaty in 1200 AD. We want to call on Oba Ewuare II and his ignorant members to stop the campaign of calumny against our revered king, Ogiame Ridge Arisco Semige JP OOS, who invariably is the custodian of Igodomigodo land. For those who lived in glass houses are advised not to throw stones. Oba Ewuare should trade with caution. Enough is enough. We are not dragging the stool of the Oba of Benin with them. They should stop dabbling into the affairs of the Ogiame royal stool and also stop describing same as sacrilegious. That is totally unacceptable to us. On the whereabouts of Ogiame Osabo Okwonga, when it became evident that Ogiame Osabo Okwonga was missing, we wrote to the then Commissioner of Police, Edo State, to alert them of the missing Ogiame Osabo Okwonga. On Tuesday, 6 August 2015, the PPRO of Edo State Police Command, DSP Stephen Owunche, published a press release about the missing Ogiame Osabo Okwonga. In a swift reaction, the Benin Traditional Council published a rejoinder on Saturday, 8 August 2015 in the Observer, signed by the Secretary, Mr. Frank Irebo, querying the use of His Royal Majesty for Ogiame Osabo Okwonga instead of condoling with us first. Up to this moment of this statement, they have not sent us a formal condolence letter, but they kept saying that Ogiame Osabo Okwonga is alive. Even when the police appealed to any person with useful information about the whereabouts to come forward and contact the nearest police station or family, then the question now is this: since the Benin Traditional Council knows the whereabouts of Ogiame Osabo Okwonga, they should please go to the police and give them the information and stop raising unnecessary dust about the whereabouts of Ogiame Osabo Okwonga. After all, the preliminary investigation we have done so far, and based on the recent press conference of ESL of Benin, thus indicates that they are behind the disappearance of Ogiame Osabo Okwonga. All this drama is to circumvent the Etopaga Treaty to further reenact their dominance in the state.
Yes, sir.
However, since there is no vacuum in nature, after following the traditional due process, we installed Prince Rich Arisco Semige JP OOS as the 24th Ogiame of Benin Utanta, in accordance with our native laws and custom. On the mode of selecting a new Ogiame wherever there is a vacuum, note the Ogiame royal stool is not hereditary by primogeniture, but through ruling houses. What is today known as Ogiame royal stool came into existence in 9th century AD. At inception, it was known as Ogiso royal stool. The first occupant was Pa Idu Ogiso, the progenitor of Igodomigodo. He was known as Ogiso Igodo. From the era of Ogiso Igodo to the present era, the Ogiso royal stool has passed through 4 different traditional transitions, namely the era of primogeniture, the era of gerontocracy, the era of second son, and the era of grandson. Historically speaking, the Ogiame royal stool traditionally has been moving from one ruling house to the other. The way the ancestors designed this transition, it is therefore difficult for any one ruling house to lay absolute claim to the stool. It is therefore misleading to say that the Ogiame royal stool is only hereditary by primogeniture. For record purposes, the Ogiame royal stool can be inherited by any direct male child from any of the ruling houses. We know the ruling houses. At the appropriate time, we shall publish the list of the ruling houses indicating details of the family tree. The ruling houses are in the family tree. Anytime there is a vacuum or vacancy, we use our internal traditional mechanism to fill the vacuum. Every transition is unique. The prevailing circumstances always determine who should be installed as Ogiame, hence the various modes of transition: primogeniture, gerontocracy, second son, and grandson. But the truth, however, is that only direct male children are qualified to sit on the throne of Ogiame of Benin Utatan stool. Ogiame and Tokpe. Recently, the chief and the Ninges under Benin Traditional Council requested that the Ogiame should tender apology in 3 national papers for an offense we don't know. We find such requests appalling and outlandish. Very simple, because we are not under them. How can you ask us to publish an apology? The Ogiame is not under the Oba of Benin. The Ogiame stool predated. In fact, the Ogiame was even gazetted before the Oba of Benin. The Bayade Dawa criminally and fraudulently created another Ogiame stool in his palace without our knowledge. We are not part of them. Finally, we thank you for coming, and we hope you will have the courage to report. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
So, in the course of your, he who lives in a glass house should not throw stone.
This audience.
And
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
So, in the course of your presentation,
Yes, sir.
he who lives in a glass house should not throw stone.
This audience.
And
Hello.
You say you live in a glass house, you should not throw stone. I want you to expatiate on that. And secondly, why did you say caution the Oba for describing the installation of Jalisco as sacrilegious?
Okay, very good. Unfortunately, there will be there's not enough time, but I will go briefly to why I use that phrase. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
So, in the course of your presentation,
Yes, sir.
he who lives in a glass house should not throw stone.
This audience.
And
Hello.
You say you live in a glass house, you should not throw stone. I want you to expatiate on that. And secondly, why did you say
He had opportunity to see documents, to see the economic position of Uhumude, Ikpobaoka, and Uriama local government areas that were not under his territory. So, Heredia started building his mafia network. Then he was known as Prince Solomon Akenzwa. This was prior to his enthronement in 1979. Chief Nusaka Ewuare was the point man to lead this network. Heredia had to do everything to take control of the Edo South and Edo Central. But unfortunately for him, Professor Ambrose Ali would stop him from taking control of Edo Central and Edo South. This actually led to a very big problem between Heredia and Professor Ambrose Ali, who was then the executive governor of Edo State. He had asked Professor Ambrose Ali to repeal the 1968 chieftaincy law that was not in favor of his family, because in the 1968 chieftaincy law, his family had a competent territory, like I said, was Useluego, while Benin City local government was under the Ogiame. The Ogiame, who happens to be the custodians of the Obiso dynasty and the representative of the indigenous people was in charge of Orionwo, Ikpobaoka, Uhunde, and Uredo, which is now splitted anyway. We will come to that. Now, as we're still talking, when he tried to penetrate deeper into Edo Central, Professor Ambrose Lee became a brick wall. And if you have all forgotten, there was a time that Ewuare organized the people in Benin City to sweep away the blades of Professor Ambrose Lee away from Benin City. But nobody ever asked a question. Why was the Oba of Benin doing such a thing? The Oba was doing it because he could not get what he wanted from Professor Ambrose Lee. That was why he was doing it. Now, because the Edo Chief Laws of 1968 was never in his favor, this is exactly what happened. Now, he failed in this attempt to encircle the people of Edo Central. So he continued his takeover of Edo South while trying several attempts against Osarobo Okunoga Edo of Benin in the early 80s. So the statement of Ewuare that he and others fortified the Ewuare at the epic of his crisis with Ewuare can be pictured in here. The question is, why and for what purpose or for what reason would Ewuare fortify Ewuare? Ewuare was a traditional ruler, and by the chieftaincy laws of the state, his positions was very clear. His title was very clear. So, was there any need for Ewuare to have fortified him? The fortification that Ewuare was talking about, because I remember in one of his press interviews after he fell out with Ewuare, he said, I and others fortified his father. He would soon know that he is not the only royal family in Benin. Meaning that Ewuare knew exactly what went wrong in Benin after 1979. Ewuare was invariably telling us that he was part of the illegality that took place in Benin. I'll give you a typical example. When Ewuare became the Oba of Benin in 1979, Ewuare stole all the lands in Eka local government, Eka village, I'm sorry to say. Ewuare sold all the lands in Eka village, sent his brothers to become Enogi and Idunyoto. Ut-etiti. They started selling lands that never belonged to them. Now, if you go to Eka village, you will hardly see the indigenous people there. They have been overtaken by Ewuare's mafia network organization. You see? Now, he continued. Like he said, from 1979 till Ewuare died, he ensured that nobody representing Edo South at the federal, state, and local government must pass through him. As a matter of fact, Ewuare took control Edo South slot in Edo State local government, federal levels, state levels, ward levels. He controlled everything. That's why I said this is a practical mafia network. Ewuare was in control. And that is exactly what his son is trying to do. I'll tell you something. No retired military personnel or no Nigerian army officer or anybody from the armed forces from Edo South who joined the armed forces since 1979, including the paramilitary academies like the police, ever got admitted into these academies without the approval of Oba Ewuare. If any youth in Benin today gets admission into the Nigerian Defense Academy without a recommendation from the Oba of Benin, he's thrown out. I have a lot of examples, and I'm sure that a lot of you listening to me would have been victims. Your cousins, your brothers, your sisters would have been victims of this very particular scam. Ewuare controls everything. The Oba of Benin controls. So you see, when you saw 16 powerful men coming to the Court of Appeal, Brigadier Idada, Major General Idada retired and co, you would have understood that these were all people who rode on the back of a radio to get to the epic of their career. So they were there to show thank you to his late father. Otherwise, the Oba of Benin is so powerful. And if he's in court with Yogi Amin, what do you need a retired parliamentarian for? What do you need an ex-senator for? What do you need a retired general for? What do you need a retired inspector general for? You see, Oba of Benin is so powerful. So one would imagine, with the powers that the Oba of Benin has accumulated over the years, and if actually everything that he's doing are within the confines of the law, then would the Oba of Benin, he does not need Tony Kabaka to threaten people. He does not need a retired Major General Idada to move 16 retired generals, senators, House of Assembly, House of Representatives to the Court of Appeal, just to show the judiciary that the most powerful people are behind the Oba of Benin. It is an attempt to influence justice. This is why I said the Oba of Benin has been operating and started his mafia network from the 60s. But we are not going to allow him, because J.R. Sidney, I am the president of the Association of the Indigenous People of Benin in Europe, for the human rights in Europe. AIPBE was duly registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission of Nigeria. In fact, we've started working with some legal experts in Nigeria, some lawyers in Nigeria. We're already working, we're putting documents together because we need to question some of these powers that he's exercising. An example, does Enogi has any power over the land of the people? Is there anywhere in the state law that Enogi has powers to dictate how lands are administered in a particular village? No. Enogis are not gazetted chieftaincy stools. Enogis are just brothers of the Oba of Benin. So legally they do not stand any chance. They are usurping the powers of the local people. And the state government, as a matter of fact, it's neck deep into this conspiracy. Why do I say that the state government is neck deep? Now let me talk about the conspiracy properly. You see, as a matter of fact, in this conspiracy, you have the Edo state government really in participation of this conspiracy. You have the Edo State House of Assembly as well. You have the Christian Association of Nigeria Edo State Chapter. You have the Pentecostal Federation of Nigeria Edo State Chapter. You have the Nigerian Bar Association Edo State Chapter. You have the Attorney General of Edo State. You have the Nigerian Union of Journalists Edo State. You have the federal government of Nigeria. You have the Edo State Commission of Police. You have the Directorate of State Security Services. All these organizations I've mentioned are all parcel of the conspiracies against the indigenous people. Otherwise, let's start with the state government. How can the Oba of Benin summon his native doctors to Ring Road, the center of the city, and begin to place calls on the indigenes of the state? Is it not the duty of the state government to have said, no, this is not done because we are in a civilized society? The state government has never done that. The Oba of Benin took one chief prince, Dr. Ogiugu, a 72 years old man, had him beaten up mercilessly. And we have the videos. The Edo state government did not say anything. The commissioner of police in the state did not say anything. The DSS director did not say anything. The Christian Association of Nigeria did not say anything. The Nigerian Bar Association did not say anything. The Pentecostal Federation of Nigeria, Edo State Chapter, did not say anything. And the Nigerian Union of Journalists, they ain't publishing anything that has got to do with the manipulations, the victimizations, intimidations of the indigenous people of Edo South by the Oba of Benin, using the state instruments. That is why I say it's a conspiracy. It's a practical conspiracy because a theory has to be proven. When you say there is when I say a conspiracy theory, it means that the conspiracy has to be proven. But this one is a practical conspiracy, and already we have a proof, because when a young man was taken to the palace of the Ewuare of Benin for criticizing of the Ewuare of Benin, this man was stripped naked, and he was asked by one Tony Kabaka and his friend to drink the urine of the Ewuare of Benin right in the palace of the Ewuare of Benin, and this video is still on the internet. The commissioner of police was supposed to have immediately intervened. At least they would have written to the Ewuare of Benin that such a thing should never happen again. Not quite long from that, one Prince Iduriase, who said he was the commander of the Royal Army of Benin, who lives in the United Kingdom, came to Benin City. He was stripped naked. And as a matter of fact, the worst of it all in that very scenario was that even Iduriase, the sword bearer in the palace, even have the guts to ask Iduriase to submit his passport. Can you imagine that? A sword bearer, a slave to the Ewuare of Benin. Why all these things are taking place? The Edo State government, what is the role of the Edo State government if it's not a conspiracy? The Edo State government is to protect the right of every indigene of the state and protect the right of those who are residents in the state. This is the duty, and this is the oath that Governor Godwin Obaseki swore to after winning the election and he became the executive governor of the state. He promised to defend and protect the rights of the indigents and the residents of the state. But Obaseki is not doing this, because we saw at the time Tony Kabaka became the chief security of the officer of the state. He was humiliating people. Obaseki did nothing. The Edo State House of Assembly, whose duty was to make laws that will make life easier for the indigents of the state, at the same time, remember the state governor, the commissioner of police of their duties. They have never come out to say anything. They have not even come out to defend, rather to make a pronouncement or to denounce that such things happening in the capital city of Edo State. Imagine, the Oba's palace is just about 20 meters from the House of Assembly. So these things are happening very close to the House of Assembly. And the House of Assembly people are not saying anything. Can the Christian Association of Nigeria, they are not going to say they have known, because you see, when you have an authority, an institution, associations like CAN, they are the mouthpiece of the Christians in the state. And when things like what happened in Benin happen, it is their duty to make a pronouncement. But the Christian Association of Nigeria, like I said, part of the conspiracy, they have never said anything as we are talking till date. The Pentecostal Federation of Nigeria, that is the Hallelujah churches, those ones who always have miracles, who always see Jesus Christ, they always see God. They have never had the courage. They have never had the courage, because right in their front in Benin City, the Ewuare of Benin has been assembling all the nasty, dirty juju in Ring Road. And these people who said that they are born again Christians and that they see Jesus every day, they did not even counter these actions by the Ewuare of Benin and his dirty, stinking men. Let's come to the NBA, the Nigerian Bar Association. It is a mouthpiece of the legal profession in the state. When things get to that level, it was their duty, and it is their duty, to make a pronouncement, at least a press conference, or at least a letter written to the Ewuare of Benin that was very, very dehumanizing, that they should not do it again. They did not do anything. They are part of the conspiracy. I'm going to tell you why all these people are not doing anything. The Attorney General of Edo State, the Attorney General knows where. There is nowhere in law that the Ewuare of Benin has the powers to exercise authorities by sending his brothers to become dukes, or the Ewuare of Benin creating dukedoms in the lands of the indigenous people. The Attorney General knows. He's not saying anything, just like the governor. just like the Christian Association of Nigeria. Even when the people, the indigenous people, they are crying. The indigenous people, they are fighting back. Nobody has ever come to their rescue. Look at the case of Ubiaza, Ubiaza community in Igbobaoka. It's on the internet for everybody. Not the state government, not the Attorney General, not the House of Assembly. None of these people has ever come out to say, no, enough is enough. All right? The Nigerian Union of Journalists, this is the fourth realm of administration in any democratic institution. They do not write anything about the Yoruba of Benin. Everything that is happening in Benin City, they are all kept in silence. Why? Because they receive money from the Yoruba of Benin. Those who don't get paid, they get lands, the indigenous people's land, forcefully taken from the indigenous people. They give it to the Nigerian Union of Journalists, their members. They pay them, the Yoruba of Benin pays them. So the Nigerian Union of Journalists in Edo State, as far as the Yoruba of Benin is concerned, he is not part of what they are supposed to be doing. He is not part of what they're supposed to be doing for a simple reason. The reason is that they are part of the conspiracy. It's a practical one. It is not a theory. A theory is what has to be proven. A practical conspiracy is what is already in motion. I've just given 3 instances of what has happened. A 92-year-old woman, one Alice Egbobawaye, was hijacked in her house at about 2 a.m. in the night by Tony Kabaka and some illegal police officers. I never had any of these above-mentioned organizations, authorities, come out to say what is happening in this city. This is very wrong. This is becoming too much. There was need for the state to act and play a role. Anyway, Tony Kabaka is off the scene now because when he started, he got drunk and he started insulting Obaseki. And when Obaseki could no longer take it, Obaseki had to react because Tony Kabaka was now fighting him, Obaseki. Not because Tony Kabaka was abusing the indigenous of the state, the indigenous people of Edo South. Obaseki only fought back when Tony Kabaka now got drunk and started insulting Obaseki. The federal government of Nigeria cannot be left out. They will not say they are not seeing what is happening. There is no way, because today you have several organizations of the federal government, and most of these informations are all in YouTube. If you go to YouTube, you find most of what I'm saying. These violations, these intimidations, this what I call dehumanization. All right? The Edo State Commissioner of Police as well cannot say he is not part of this conspiracy, because as a commissioner, what happened in Ubiaza was enough for him to have intervened. This is not a question of because the Yoruba of Benin. We are talking about human beings, Mr. Commissioner. By the Nigerian laws, you are above the commissioner, you are above the Yoruba of Benin by Nigerian laws. The Yoruba of Benin is just under the local government chairman. So I wonder why people like you cannot actually do your job. Are you waiting for people to start dying in these two communities before you say, okay, we are going to do something, Mr. Commissioner? So this is why I say you are part of the conspiracy. Now, the Directorate of the State Security Services, the DSS, is part of the conspiracy. Otherwise, they have instruments for carrying out what we call secret investigation.
Thank you. Audience out there, this man we just finished listening to is not an Esan man, he's an Edo man, to be precise, the Ogiamie family of the Edo people. And like most of you already know, this page, the Indigenous People of Esan Facebook page, is merely to sensitize the Esan people, to stand in the gap for the Esan people, and to make, to most especially, continue to uphold the integrity of Esan in and outside social.
You are the one, man. See, you see this one. I'm gonna release this one. I'm gonna release this one. I'm gonna release this one. Ah, is that Chief Omotete?
Yes.
I heard. Sorry, I heard they say they banished you from the palace. You are no longer a chief in the palace. Is that true?
I've been punished from the palace.
Yeah,
You see how stupid you are?
yeah, we will give a palace. Yeah, who were for? He who na him.
You see how stupid you are? I mean, who are
I said, "Is it or a deputy here who were for? You are who are a bonoto. A family where you are
very
who."
stupid. You are very, very stupid. Who are? Very, very stupid. You are so insane.
Ogiso wa go na Ogiso.
You are so. Do you know the meaning of Ogiso? Do you know where Ogiso is coming from? Does your family have anything to do with the land of Ogiso? No. You and the entire Ogiano family. You are crazy.
See the driver a brother come for palace with the deputy Oba. They say they are from Ohuesan. Who work Obonoto? You are who were kwa Ewuare. I will beg Oba. I'm going to beg the Oba to forgive you people. Don't call what would it be? Hi. If we not he.
You don't go and treat your ailments.
Hey.
Don't go and treat your ailments, man.
Three family, they be a chief in palace. They will all expect for palace.
You are dying slowly. You are still talking.
This is the juju. Ebo. Ayela la yan sile. Could not be me right there. Ayela me sile. Yeah, the 100 euro boy, 100 euro. You can't hear anywhere near 100 euro boy.
I don't know. Let me not just abuse you, Ayelala, because in my way, my Ayelala. You are such a stupid.
Let us do fundraising for this man. Let us give him 100 euro to eat. Yeah, we do, boy.
You are a complete bastard. You don't know who you are. You don't know where you are going to. You don't know where you are coming from.
This man was a expert from the palace.
You don't know your history. You don't know your history.
Obio Giso here. Obio Giso.
You don't know your history. Your father is dying in the village there. Your father is dying in the village. Don't go and rescue your father. He's dying in the village.
But is that true that you were banned from the palace? Is that true? Is it fake information? ITV, where TV? See, it was Saroida reported it that you are banished from the palace, and the deputy Oba is also banished, and the Bonoto, and the November who were by Ewuare. Oh, okay, you born there?
Nigeria no doing.
Yeah, the January. Yeah, the January.
Come to Nigeria. You have been saying Ewuare for over 2 years now.
Yeah, Ranamigo was there now, and he went back successfully. Wagbewa. Oh, no.
Did they tell you Ranamigo is an enemy? Yeah, come on, video.
Hey, making a mountain and my father is dead now. We come to do my father burial by January.
Wait, okay, he's dead now.
Yes.
You see, you left the man there in the village to die. Yeah. That man was suffering from, oh God knows what. That man you call your father, his spirit will haunt you because you are a complete nuisance.
But how you not surviving now since they are expelled you from the palace? Let us donate for you now. Let us do fundraising for you. Huh?
Before you were born, I was already a star. Before you were born, I was already a star. Don't worry.
But yeah, what you people carry juju to one man house. Now carry juju go Oka house with the swear. Obasi no send now. So because the enemy, oh remember where we here now.
I tell you now juju I carry.
But you are not the same category with me now. Ogiyomba will be here now because you have sorry na say na Ogiyomba will be.
When the meaning of Ogiyomba? When are you Ogiyomba ka?
If no ma give na ya we only mean Ogiyomba will here now. O eri bogbara no bata na. Ogiyomba will be. You are a funny bastard.
Mo
here president of one.
To do an advert where you want to come and bury your father. Now,
Yeah,
do
Rena.
an advertorial that you are coming to bury your father.
Police will protect me. I'm going to take police protection.
Not just get protection, get military protection. Don't worry. Get military protection. Anywhere you want to bury your father, just let the people know.
I will come by January now.
Very good.
He said, "Oh, what? We say. Yeah, don't make true, man. I want to make true, man. Ugiso. I will invite you now.
I am the one waiting. I'm the one waiting to kill you. I am the one waiting to kill you.
But I have security, police security now. The police commissioner of police will provide me security now, like about 5 policemen.
Not even the commissioner of police. Get the inspector general of police to come with you, and get the commandant 4th Mechanized Brigade to be with you.
But I'm so when I saw you on the news that you were being banned, expelled from the palace, and your title, everything were removed from you, I was so shocked.
You don't even know the meaning of. You don't even know the English meaning. Please do yourself a word of good to buy a dictionary and know the meaning of expel, suspend, or whatever language you lack now.
Can we help you? Can we find something to give you?
How did you get my number anyway?
Can we help you with like €200 or 100 euro?
You have money.
Where?
Come to Nigeria.
Need secretary. Can I send my secretary to you?
Do you have money?
I have secretary.
People are donating for you. People are donating for you everywhere.
Yes, now because I'm a man of human rights now.
All those prostitutes, those women prostitutes, they are the ones donating for you.
Oh, when Italy, your daughter in Italy, which work that one? They will come with that. They say they go school for Italy.
I have only one daughter. She's in the medical college here.
Okay, that one I live in Italy. That one say leave my family alone. That one, who be that one?
I don't have anyone. I don't have anybody anywhere in Europe.
Man, I am to help him. When I watched this video, I was shocked. Say, a whole multitude of history. If this man they talk history today, you will tire. How did he born to Dudua? I didn't. And now Dudua, now he born to Dudua. Why not the answer your papa name? Dudua of Godomigudo? No. We Lao multitude don't win a little happy way because I like the agility of this man. If I cannot pay you, I will raise money for you online.
Monkey face or whatever they call you.
Oh, when they medical doctor in the area about women, the area about the men where you
I'm waiting for.
Oh, well,
I'm waiting for. What day? That your boy no liver problem in it. Money libe ade ni yes they say.
They not give up.
Don't worry. Oh, you have only one child?
No, I have three children. I query 5 months. My woman is pregnant for me. It's 5 months pregnancy, and she have a daughter for me, and she have one son before with another woman. So all together is 3. Which one do you want me to bring?
I know that you have only one son.
No. There is a daughter. That one you see on the video is a daughter. She's a daughter. She's not. Amioba in Amioba. Her name is Amioba. What's your real name? Let me send you money. Because people are committing and they say they want to help you.
Come, let me do fundraising for you because you need it. You are
but why you don't that come out in that woman Nebo TV before you used to come and tell history, but now you have run away. What happened? You were very good. That time I was watching you. I was very happy. I say, this man is telling us our history. We want to know where we come from. How come you don't do that again? What happened? They sack you or you sack yourself? What happened, sir? MC we have we then we better have me what do MC ba the information I had that before you were expelled from the palace, you can be away and 1 minute can be pushed away. You have to go back you can. Why you know elegant answer the title again? What is it? Obadola Agboye of Benin Kingdom. Why you know answer that title again?
Because you are just in your prison there. No, you don't walk on the streets of Germany.
No, I was in Berlin, sir. I was in Berlin. Yeah? I was in Berlin protest. I was also in Düsseldorf. If I move around, though, ask your people in Europe now. Okay, where do you want me to go? This on the first week of next month. I'm going to France in Paris. Yes, I have a protest.
I was in Ham a few months ago.
Ham is very close to my house. Now, why you didn't call me now? I could have come and welcome you and put you in there. Huh?
Are we friends? What do I need you for?
You are all your brother, but you are also my colleague now.
Thank God we're
Merci. But yeah, expel well now. Why you not functioning as a? But you're not taking. Before you to watch your name, ITV News or Obadola Agboye of Benin Kingdom, Chief of Multi Tinegi.
I am the Obadola Agboye of Benin.
But you don't answer this title now anymore.
What to tell you? Do I have any contact with you that you will know whether I answer or not? I
am going to call the International Council tomorrow, Monday, to confirm what you have just said now, because we watch it on the news that you were being removed from the palace. But how come you are still parading yourself as Obadola Agboye? If I don't think I'll put you in a problem, this is what happened to Prince Okoro, that allowed the Prince Okoro to drink pepper soup. If I don't want that kind of thing to also happen to you, that is because I am just telling you.
Prince Okoro is your friend. It's your friend. You know, Prince Okoro is your friend. It's your friend.
He said Prince Okoro is my friend. I'm very happy for Prince Okoro to be my friend, but Prince Okoro is supposed to be loyal to me, but he was not loyal. That is the problem. You cannot serve two masters at the same time. Okay, cannot loyal. So when you buy a king of Orionba, we have many Orionba. But I
feel Ayoba Zakon. Ayoba told the baby, I go passing me, I go very Ununaya to your back way. You must understand. You thank God your father is dead now, because if you not do him, you have a guaderio. Nalaho. Like your mom, your father proved to be a good man, but you are very, in short, thank God he denied you. I wish you come. So no go bilire, no jare seto. No even neto mudia.
Imajoka, what's Majoka Yamame? Also, Mamma, I will go. In Majoka, where also white you. White be some.
Just looking for publicity for himself.
But at the end of the day, you arrested him. I bail him. I personally did about 80% of the bail or 70%. I am here.
What's our business with Joker? We have no business with a Joker.
But you said you want to take him to Port Court for a federal court. Huh?
No. The palace has no hand in all that. That is what you must know. Just a few real Benin people who felt the boy was stupid. The palace has no hand in it.
What about the 13,000 euro? My 13,000 euro case, Uncle. The police also have no hand in it. 8 million naira. Can I send you?
The palace has no hand. Listen to you. The palace has no hand in the case you have in Germany.
Okay.
The palace has no hand in it. I know a few of our Benin chiefs and all that who took up the case because they are loyal citizens of Benin Kingdom. And you are with 13,000 euro. It is
but the signature was signed by the Oba of Benin, and the signature, can I send you the signature? Two signature. And the barrister Michael Osakome is senior advocate of Nigeria. He wrote an affidavit and said that the Oba of Benin said this, Oba of Benin empowered him to give the power of Anthony to those two lawyers. 13,000 euro.
You think the Oba has time for you?
Okay, if the Oba don't have time for me now, that is, I can also come to Benin and do my father burial and go now, since he don't have time for me now.
The Oba does not have time for you. We manipulate to all your time. So if you are good and bold enough, come to Benin.
Okay, what if
Benin.
if I come to Urum, you call, what will happen to me?
Anywhere you want to come to Edo State, come to Nigeria. Just let us know that you are in Abuja. Don't worry. I can't, don't, I want to call him, man.
Ogiso atok me. Who we say yo?
You know.
Ogiso atok me. Mag we say yo?
You don't even know Kenogiso stop. You don't know anything.
Why are you not answering? Why is it that in Ishan land they don't answer Oba Etin, Oba Yagbo village, Oba Dua, Oba Isiagbon? All those names they are answering Benin. How come they don't answer those names in Ishan land? How come they don't answer those names in Yoruba land? Oba Nyagbon, Oba Wagmoze, Oba this. Why they not answering those names in Yoruba land? This so why they not answering this? Any Roman Kwenya. How come they don't answer those names? Eh?
Because you don't even know the history.
This is what I'm asking us, sir. How come?
You don't even know you don't know. If you want to know, humble yourself to learn. Humble yourself to learn. Not this gra thing you are doing. You don't know the history. You don't know the history.
Okay.
You people have you have cornered this boy to you want to kill him, go Sabo here, the Ogiame of Benin. And you and your other idiot people trying to put the hell. Anyway.
See, let me tell you, don't forget this thing I want to tell you today. I want to tell you, now that you don't have work now, I know Benin, things are very scarce, things are hard. Why can't you just be loyal to me and let me help you? I have followers. Now I'm waiting. Let us place you on salary basis and show your loyalty. Who will give so at all, man? Make na move on we are ma. Tell you who give so at all.
When only Libya and Europe.
When
if not for the white woman that is helping you there, who are you?
Oh, Giso we wa gonna Giso to boy. But when we only man for you people to have forcefully bring my father to that palace, don't you know that is a breach of human rights?
Nobody forced your father. Nobody forced your father.
Why must you forcing him to be swearing for me? That is not a crime. Eh?
Listen to me, man. Listen to me.
Okay.
Listen well.
Yes.
If you are on your live presentation, you better just listen now.
Okay.
And all the fools that are, they say they are loyal to you, let them all hear me.
Okay.
I am almost like you, Benin.
Okay.
And let me tell you, your father, nobody even knew that you had a father. The palace was not aware that you even had a father, that you are even truly a Benin person.
Okay.
When a few persons, there were about 8 of them, they walked into the palace. The old man introduced himself as your father.
Okay.
And I went on total. You know, some overzealous boys were going to start hitting him. I was one of those and said, no. We must tell His Majesty where Omaveniana, and we now brought something to the knowledge of His Majesty where Omaveniana, and so, you know, it even surprised me that the upper Maewe Omabu were at all. Because he's not on social media. He doesn't know you. All the nonsense, Wawatalo, he doesn't hear. Okay. So it was straight. We now, okay, go and ask him. The man said, well, Eba may bring it to his own notice. This is your father. So that bring it to his own notice what his son is. Then the man now said, for so many years, you never came back. You never even came for a visit or anything. They would have gone, they would roll. Now, no more about Lao. Now, he told him, when he ragbona, Niefeko, Gagasedehi, Niewu. Now, Lao, it was just, the man proved himself to be, well, humble and good man. And I'm like, okay, now if you have any means of reaching your son, tell him the nonsense in Ouni, he should stop it. And that he should go and learn the history. He should try and learn the history. Nobody forced.
Okay, don't swear he was sorry for me. Who who was saying it all these things on his smart to do all these things. Is don't you know that is against the law? Huh? On the video.
Nobody said anything to him.
A serial Benin, when they was telling my father, he was inciting all those words on his man. Don't you know
No.
is?
No.
Do you want me to send you the video?
No. That is a bloody lie. That is
what
a
is on
lie.
the video? It's on the video. Can you check it on YouTube? Right, Murphy Face Father in Oba Palace. See what they were telling him to swear for me.
Nobody forced your father to swear for you. The man came on his own volition to the palace.
How many times my father came to palace? How many times he came to that palace? How many times?
From my knowledge, once.
My father said he came to palace 5 times. Maybe you saw it once. And my father, before my father died, my father confessed in his sick bed that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You na remi yonu na we ya tebo. Nyegi tie body for na me ina me. So all these things, these are the case we are back. At least you said the Yoruba is not aware, and actually my father was able to make those confessions before he died. And my father is a man of truth, he doesn't lie. And in the video that was placed on YouTube, we saw where Isiria, the deputy Oba, was forcing my father to swear for me against his wish. Don't you know that is against the law? It's on YouTube. I have it. I have downloaded it. Don't you know that is against the Nigerian law?
Nobody endorsed your father, whether by force or by anything, to say what he said.
What about Prince Okoro? Do people force Okoro to drink that water, or he drink it by himself? What about the one of Prince Okoro? Prince Okoro
actually not a Benin.
Prince Okoro drink that water. Now, was it forced, or he did it at his own wish to drink that water?
Do you know why Prince Okoro was made to swear, to take oath?
No.
Do you know?
No.
Or why you just see the picture that does not tell a story. Prince Okoro had on his vehicle this crest of the Oba of Benin.
Adabebe, yes.
Not just Adabebe, cast with Eon.
Okay.
Then he also made on the same vehicle where he is a Nogie. He is a Nogie. Is there some of Benin? It's not a Nogie.
But when they were using Okoro in a Gwe Mountain, when they were using Okoro to swear, they were asking Okoro if he knows me and which relationship do I have with him. They say he should put the hand on the swear. They were asking him, do man why Mofi face Baje?
These people should learn to ask questions and ask the real people so that you will know the truth. Okoro was not taken to a Guamaton. Okoro was not taken to a Guamaton. Is not a place
It's a place where 2 places
where the Oba sits in council, the Oba sits in judgment for his people.
I was Olwa.
Oh God, Ugazolwane there, yes. It is not a bow that is meant to kill somebody. You say you are not this. Ask the Murphy. You say you are not this. You didn't do this. Okay, you are all your sins are forgiven. But if you do it again, that is all.
But in the one of Eddie Murphy, you saw when Eddie Murphy you saw the pressure put on him that they naked him, and you see what happened during that process. Eddie Murphy said it that if he refused to swear, they could have used him. He could have not been alive today. And Prince Okoro, do you want me to call Prince Okoro in your present now? Do you want me to call Prince Okoro now? And let me ask Prince Okoro if what you are saying and what you say Prince Okoro is saying is the same thing. You know, I like you. The reason why I like you, you could have made good of spokesman. Edo State government is supposed to appoint you as the press secretary to Edo State government because you are very good in
People are so, you are so mundane. You are so dumb. You don't know. You just.
Do you think it's hygienic? Okoro who live in England will come and be drinking water from ordinary ground. Do you think that is hygienic? To put water on the ground. What is the what is that water? What where many?
Okay, it's ordinary water.
It's ordinary water. What is the meaning of that one? I wanted to stop paying the great of you. My like it, but maybe don't want where made don't want. No one money men well they do Wabi way to do what we do when I did Wabi well.
Go and sit down in the comfort of your solitude and beg for forgiveness of the Oba. At all. He does not even know whether you exist.
But you know this is Sir, have you read the history of Ozolo Anise? You know the history. Why did Ozolo kill himself? Well, Ozolo could be said what? We say how?
Oh God.
These are historical things.
You don't just jump into a history from the middle. When I come away, a history. Don't when I come away history.
Ozolo Anise.
Yes.
Okay, I want to. Okay.
You don't know.
I want to ask you only one question, sir. This question, Oba Ozolwa, where was Ozolwa? Oba Ozolwa? What happened to Ozolwa in Nissan land? What happened to him? Ozolwa was why jump over? What was it true that Ozolwa died in Nissan? Was it true or not? What happened? Who was he fighting in Nissan land? We want to know. In Uromi.
Now listen to me. It's Uzziah. Okay. Now listen. Okay. Ozolwa was not fighting anybody in Eastern land.
Okay.
Was not fighting anybody in Eastern land. Okay. When what happened to him happened. He didn't go to Uzziah to fight.
Well, how come he caught the head of Uzziah in Uzziah? How come he didn't go to Uzziah to fight?
Listen to me.
Okay.
The whole story concerning that the death of Uzziah, it relates to Okota, the great medicine man.
No, just tell us about the one of Uzziah. We want to know about Zola. Okota is different. I know that one. Yes.
I can tell you right now. I'm just watching a football match now. After this, I'm supposed to. I'll go to my studio to work. I work all day, all night.
But so is it true that Ozolwa, Evina Sunda Uzziah, and before something happened to him in Uzziah, a head of Uzziah was removed. If you go to Igun, the head of Uzziah is so there, the bronze mask of Uzziah. But how come he died in Uzziah? What happened to him? He's sick and he died there. What happened to him? Because but we saw what happened in Uzziah, that when he was waging war with everybody, but when he waged war with Uromi and Uzziah, that was what happened to him. But anytime we ask this question, people will jump it. You want to jump it to what do you call it, that one? They tell us. Who killed him? Who killed him in Uzziah? We want to know. Was he died like that?
The great medicine man from Uzziah.
Yes.
Made that prophecy to Oba Ewuare the first. This one, Opame, because when he was preparing the medicine for him, a ball of heavy water fell on him. This one is Opame. That's why it was even before his birth. He was named Opame.
Okay. Okay.
And then this one will be the one, the very person that will kill him, Okota. Immediately, the father, the Oba, now said, well, of all these things you have done good, done well. If he kills you, that very day, he too will die. So it was the head of Okota that he killed, not the head of the king of Uzziah. Learn your history, please.
Okay, who killed what do you call that man just now? Ozolwa. Who killed Ozolwa? Who killed him in Nisa?
It's the people of Uzziah.
That is what we are saying now. Okay, but the grave is still there. Anytime they want to become coronating Oba, they always go there. The grave is still there. How come the grave is still there? Huh?
No way. There are things I don't know. And even if I know that, I cannot talk about. As a palace chieftain, it's no way. If you want to learn about Benin, humble yourself and learn. Not all these aggrandizements, this stupidity that you are just overflowing everywhere. It is not right for you. It is not right for you. Nobody fights the Oba and succeed.
Sir,
you cannot.
Sir, I think you answer your father's name. Is that true? Are you not answering your father's name? Yes or no, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Ikaladeran is the father of Oba. Why is he not answering Ikaladeran as Ikaladeran of Benin Kingdom or Ikaladeran of Godomigodo? Why are you not answering your father's name? Since Ikaladeran is your name, it's supposed to be answering Ikaladeran. And what I expected you to do, sir, you see, we have Ogiso Igodo, we have Ogiso Ere, we have Ogiso Muse, we have Ogiso, many Ogisos who are. Why till today we don't have any Ogiso primary school? All those names are not remembered in our states. Even we don't even have Ogiso secondary school. Why is it that we have Oba Eweka down to Oba Ewuare? We have all their names. What happened to our names?
You see the problem you have. You see the problem you have.
Okay.
So when there is Ogiso market, Ekyogiso. You don't know that there is Ogiso primary school?
No, Ekyogiso is called New Market. Go pass it 2 seconds. They have turned the name to New Market, sir. Check it very well. I will not lie to you.
People call it New Market because of the renovation.
The signboard is there. It's called New Market. The signboard is there.
It's not a new market, but it's one of the oldest markets in Benin.
But the name is called New Market. The name is there, sir.
Only Wanimae. But for those of you who don't know, so it's it cannot be called New Market.
So do you also believe in Orun Obado? Do you know that place in Ile-Ife? You were there after the coronation or during the coronation. I saw you there with what do you call it, Channel News. I have the video. We are there in Orun Obado. We have Orun Obado. We also have Orun Oba Oyo, because Oba Oromiyan is the father of Alafin. He's also the father of Oweka. They have a site, a historical site called Orun Oba Oyo. That is they also have a place called Orun Oba Ado. Okay, sir. What do you know about the Orun Oba Ado?
I will tell you the history. I attended University of Ife, and I know Ife so well. As somebody who's been very interested in history and anthropology, in my 4 or 5 years I was there, I did a lot of things. I did a lot of work, a lot of investigations and research. So this one you are talking about, there is no such place.
Can I send you the video? Can I send you the video? And I saw it when you all were there. Even Imaswe was there. The place is pent. They have built one small room inside. It's 2 places. I will send you I spent not less than 200,000 naira. I went to New Ife Palace to the show us that place, Orun Oba Ado. And are you trying to tell me that you were not there?
What is the meaning of Orun Oba Ado?
Ado? The name of Eweka, Eweka is called Ado. When we went there, they call you the children of Ado. And sir, I want to put this last question before you, sir. Who is the Ewuare of who sent to you? Who is the Ewuare of who sent to you? Who is him to Oba? We want to know.
Ewuare of Use is one of the priests who escorted Oromia from Ile-Ife. But because of Amenoro or Arise, that place they now call Usen, it is Agogbebo. Agogbebo. So spilled on his body, big rashes. So they now asked him to wait behind. The Oloton and others asked him to wait behind. Or Makeke, the place they are just going, our most sick person, Amula Tedu. And I will not wait. So every time they now send message to him to come back. He was always promising, I will come in 5 days time.
Okay.
And so
what is the name? What is the name of Ewuare of Usen? The Yoruba name, with the name they brought from Ife. What is the real name? Okay. The name, let me tell you his name. His name is called Oluwaye. He have a seat in a New Ife Palace, in Oduduwa Palace there. The Oromiyan name is called Olugbo. That is the name of Prince. Oromiyan is not his name. Oromiyan is a nickname. Oromiyan. My destiny have arrived. That is a Yoruba word. Oromiyan.
No. That is not a Yoruba.
If you go to Usen, Baba, Mr. Motite, or sorry, Chief of Motite. If you go to Usen, you go to Ewuare of Usen Palace. Ewuare of Usen live in Jenny here. They will tell you the history of Usen, that Ewuare of Usen is the immediate elder brother, born of the same mother and the same father to Oromiyan. They are born of the same father and the same mother. He stepped over there, and they told us about. Do you want me to send my secretary and some of my workers in Benin to come and meet you and let us go to Ewuare of Usen Palace and ask them? They told us that Oromiyan is the immediate younger brother to the Oluwaye, the Ewuare of Usen. And we asked them, is it Oduduwa that give birth to you? They told us that they are pure from Ife. They are from the Oni. They are the children of Oni and Ife. That is the same family, and you are proving that Ewuare of Usen and the Yoruba of Benin, they are family. They are the same brothers, priests.
In the first place,
yes.
In the first place, the title Oni of Ife is not the ruler of Ife as a kingdom.
Okay.
You should go and learn the history. He's not the ruler. The traditional head of Ife is Oodua Nife. Oodua Nife. This one is just like the title of Ewuare.
Okay, so how come? Who is the first Oni? Who is the first Oni in Ife? You say it's not the leader of Ife. It's not the leader of Ife. Who is the first Oni of Ife?
This one.
No, who is the first? The first Oni of Ife. Who is the first man to be Oni in Ife? Who is the first man? Is it not Oduduwa?
I am not.
The first Oni of Ife is. So, are you trying to tell me that Oduduwa was not the leader of Ife? Because if you say the Oni of Ife is not the leader of Ife, how come Oduduwa was the first Oni of Ife?
Oduduwa was not Oni. That is what I'm telling you now. The title Oduduwa was derived from Oduduwa, which is our.
No, I'm talking about it. It was not called Oduduwa of Ife. It was called the title is called Oni of Ife.
It was Oni. It was not called Oni. Oni came in as a title. It's one of the traditional priests.
Okay, let us agree. But Oromiyan was Oni of Ife. It was also Oni of Ife.
When he came in as a regent, and that money were Oni. It is not your own. It is not your own.
But was Oromiyan once Oni, or what was the title of Oromiyan in Ile-Ife? If Oni is not the ruler of Ife, what was the title of Oromiyan in Ile-Ife?
Oromiyan never had a title in Ife.
But you go to the Yoruba land, the people that have ruled Ile-Ife, they are called, the title is called Oni. The title of Oni have ruled Ife right from Oduduwa is the first Oni that have ruled Ife till today.
Listen, this current Oni now is Oni number how many?
Oni that have ruled Ife, something about 60 something Oni.
Go and learn your history.
There's 60 something Oni. Some go now. Oduduwa is in Oromiyan. I think Oromiyan is number 8. Oromiyan is the 8th Oni that have ruled Ife. Check it, is there.
Oromiyan never ruled in Ife. After Oromiyan left Benin, he went back to his father
No, he went back to Oyo. He didn't went to Ile-Ife. He went to Oyo.
He went back to Ile-Ife. He went back to Ile-Ife. That was when the father told him that he has already been Oba somewhere. He cannot come back here again.
Yeah,
that was when he now moved
to Oyo.
To go and start the Oyo kingdom.
Okay. After the death of his father, what was the now title? What was the title for Oromiyan in Ife? After the father died, what was now his title? What was the title in Ife? Since you said Oromiyan was never Oni of Ife, but Oromiyan once ruled Ife, what was the title of Oromiyan?
No, he never ruled Ife.
Okay, his father was okay, after the death of Oromiyan, who was the next? What was the title they have in Ife? What the throne in Ife is called what? Okay, what is the throne? What is the throne in Ife? What is the name of the throne they have in Ife? Is it not Oni?
Right now, the Oni, that is why there is still problem in the Yoruba land. That a lot of them are telling the Oni of Ife that he should keep quiet. It's not an Oba. It's not in the category of Oba. They don't even call him His Royal Majesty.
Okay, sir.
Or whatever.
Do you know this man? Do you agree with me that Oloton is a Yoruba man? Yes or no?
Of course, yes.
What about Ihama is a Yoruba man? Yes or no? Ihama came from Ife? Yes or no?
One of those that came from Ife, yes.
Okay. Do you agree that this man also came from Ife, Ogefa? Ogefa no mwepo. No mwepo Oromiyan Akifere. Do you believe that Ogefa also came from Ife? Yes or no?
Ogefa.
No mwepo.
This no. There are two Ogefa now. Ogefa no Zebe, Ogefa no mwepo.
No mwepo.
The Ogefas are here.
No mwepo. No mwepo le Oromiyan Akifere. Is it true that that one's from Ife?
It's not true. Ogefa didn't come from Ife.
Which one is from Ife for inside?
Otefa tell me.
Okay. Okay. Osa no swan there from Ife. Yes or no?
Osa no swan.
Okay. How many chiefs do you know came from Ife?
Look.
No. So I want to know where we come from now, because there are some people in this Benin now. They said they are the owner of the Benin. They are the CCC. So people want to really know that people through you now. People have know that Ihama is a Yoruba family, but we're not fighting Yoruba people. You see, through you now, they now know many people who are come from Yoruba now. So we want to really ask you, sir, how many people come from Ife? Came from Ile-Ife? We want to know.
You are very funny.
No, sir, it's true. Because we don't need to deny where we come from now. You said we want to know.
If you want to learn from me, you just come straight. I spent time and money doing researches.
We will pay you because my followers, they say that somebody has said you have donated 100 euro now, say we give to you. This is a yes. They want to know where their father come from. You understand? See, like, you know this chief in Benin, what is the name of this chief? Chief Ero. Chief Ero said it. He said it the other day that in those days, we do them for Ewuare. He said the original greeting of the Oba of Benin is called Laoni. That is their ancestral land. Listen, see, I will send you the video. Write it on YouTube. You get write it on YouTube. Benin sanitation. You will see Ero and Isogba of Benin where they were talking. He said Laoni is they are the children of Oni.
No. Don't misquote him. Don't misquote
Let me say it. Let me say it.
Story we all know.
Let me say what. Let me say what he said. I will play it for you. He said the greetings.
It's not Laoni.
Let me tell you what he said. He said the real word was Laoni. This is that abbreviation to Lani. He said, but when the Oba of Benin said no, the good people were not greeting Lamogun, and the Oba said no, Igun Ayawemiya. Let the Oba of Benin now take that Lamogun from them and now give them Lani. He said the real word is called Laoni. Laoni.
Okay. Now let me just ask you this.
Okay.
Apart from Benin, Ewuare, which other tribe in the entire world on this Mother Earth, that has family salutation? Where in the world?
Let me tell you the reason why they have sanitary. Can I tell you the history of that salutation, how it happened? Can I tell you? Can I tell you short history, how it happened? During the time of Ewuare the first, this is when these greetings they started having these greetings, because people who left the land, the Yoruba, the Isoko, they don't have these greetings, because these greetings were not in existence when they left. These greetings started during the time of Ewuare the first. How it started? There was a day, sir. Let me explain the history I learned. There was a day. The Oba family are regarded as Ewuare. Say they are the prince and princess and gods of the land. Nobody they use them for human sacrifice. Mistakenly, they use one of their family for human sacrifice, and Ewuare was very brutal. Then Ewuare now summoned the people in Benin together and give them different greetings. So now, anytime they want to carry out this human sacrifice, they will catch you. They ask you to hunutwe. Will you say lamogun? I always say as I say, they will lose you. If you say lamogun, they will not be able to lamogun. So these things were used to as an identification mark to know who are the families of the Oba, so that it's there for human sacrifice. Thank you.
Now, please listen.
Okay.
In the time of Ogiso, from the beginning of Ogiso Obagodo, Igodo Migodo, Atuhune, go and research, please.
How come the Yoruba people are not greeting the sanitation? How come the Joe people are not greeting sanitation? All those people who run away, they don't have the sanitation. How come? If we are having this sanitation,
all those people that
why don't have the sanitation? Because it's an identification mark.
Even up to Onisha.
No, why they not greeting the greeting now? They not greet that greeting. Why they're not greeting all those things? If they were having it as an identification mark, why are they not having it? Yes.
You are so dumb. Because I can see the reason you are just mundane like this. You are not willing to learn.
Okay.
You are not. All these things, Ika, Ijo, the areas of those that migrated from Benin.
Do you agree that the Ijo people migrated from Igodomigodo? Do you agree, yes or no?
Not all of them.
Okay, I want to ask you, if you agree that the Ijo people migrated from them, why are you not saying the Ijo people don't have land? They fall from sky.
Nobody said they fall from the sky.
The Oba owns their lands. That is what they are showing on Rabot said that the Ijo people that are living in Giligili, Oba owns the land, say it's not their land. Where did they come from?
Oh, God.
No, so I want to know now, because you said Nancy some Ijo people are from Igodomigodo. Okay, which Ijo are not from Igodomigodo? Which part of Ijo? We want to know, sir.
Now let me tell you what the Ijos, as it were now, when it was Oba Orogboa, the son of Esige, who actually brought them from as far places as Focados and all those places, Aoke Vignari, to be his sailors. They were the marine soldiers, Noga Alu. So, and made them to stay around the creek. So, with intermarriages and others, they staying around the creek of the Benin River, they took over the creek area, which hitherto has been habited by a few Benin people. Most of those ones, so coming now in this age, 21st century, even in the time of Oba Akezwa II, they went to court, up to the High Court and the Supreme Court.
Sir, have you read the history? I want to tell you, if you say the Ijo people, they are not from, that is, you have said it now that the Ijo people, they are not from Benin. That you have already said it with this your proof. Okay, now I want to put it to you. The word Igodomigodo, what language is that? Is that it's an Ijaw word or is Benin? You said the Ijaw people are not from Benin, but the word Igodo, which language can you find that words? Tell us.
Okay, your Ijaw people have told you it's
No. I just asked you, sir.
Sir, because of your presentation.
Igodo is which word is that?
Good.
He who lives in a glass house should not throw stone.
This audience.
And
Hello.
You say you live in a glass house, you should not throw stone. I want you to expatiate on that. And secondly, why did you say caution the Oba for describing the installation of Risco as sacrilegious?
Okay, very good. Unfortunately, there will be there's not enough time, but I will go briefly to where I use that phrase. Prince Oromia came to invade Igodomigodo in 12th century AD. During the invasion, they didn't succeed. He deliberately defiled, raped, and impregnated our daughter, Princess Eyinide, which gave birth to the first Oba of Benin. So the whole of Ewuare dynasty, they are illegitimate, they are illicit, they are burnt children. They are not supposed to. The Oba of Benin is the son of our daughter. And how can the son of our daughter ruling us and still insulting us? That's why we say that those who live in glass houses should not throw stone. Besides that, it has never happened in the history of Benin. Oba Eredewa slept with his own sister Ikoyeme, an Oba daughter, to produce the current Oba Ewuare II. It's an abomination in Benin. It has never happened. It has never happened. It's so strange. Then, that is even the worst. He himself has even done worse than what the father did. He's always attracted to his sisters, to his siblings. He has had children from his direct siblings. He's sleeping with virtually all his siblings in the palace. This is an abomination in Benin for a brother to sleep with his sister. It has never happened before. But today it's very common in that over there. And they are stood there. How can somebody live in a glass house be throwing stone? It is.
You say you live in a glass house.
Stubbornness has met with stubbornness.
In which language? Because me, I understand our language. Which language is not my language? Do you have another language you speak that you have the meaning in that one? It's not the same. Language in here. Igodo migodo. The language is not in Tamima.
Igodo migodo. Igodo or mie igodo. Igodo migodo.
Okay. What was the name of the first king of our land? What was the name of the first king that have ruled our land? What is the name? The real name. Tell us the real name. The king that started ruling our land. Is it not called Igodo? His name is Igodo. Igodo. Okay. Can you tell an Ijaw man, all the old Ijaw people we have in Nigeria, they trace their ancestral roots to Ogiso? So that is what we are saying now. If you're not telling us that the Ijaw people, they don't have land, but the Ijaw people, their history is tied 100% to Ogiso. That is where we are saying now. That is Ogiso and the Oba, they are not one. Because the Ijaw people, they are Ogiso. They are the real Ogisos, the aborigines. If you go to Ijaw land, the history they have, Echojiso Uruma, they have all the history of Ogisos in their blood. And you coming out telling us that the Ijaw people, they brought them from Fakados during the time of slave trade. And you remember that Oba Orogwa you are talking about just now.
Oba of Benin engaged in slave trade. No Oba of Benin engaged in slave business.
Okay. Okay, sir. Where do you people capture? You people were warlords. You were capturing many cities. Tell us which city were you people capturing? Tell us. Do you capture Hausa lands? The people you call your children, the people you call the Ukwani, is Ijaw, not Ijaw. Let us remove Ijaw. I say you are not the one who born Ijaw. All the reign of Oba Benin from Ewuare to many years to British rule, where were you people fighting the war? And what we read and what our father told us, that you people were fighting this war in Ishaland, in Akure, in Ika, all those Urobo. This way where you fight the war, and today you are telling us you gave birth to them. Sir, can you tell us where do you people fought war? Where do you capture? Who were you people selling to the Portuguese?
Now you must understand that Oba Ewuare the First conquered 201,000 villages, up to the Ga people of Ghana.
He conquered them?
Up to the Ga.
Do you conquer the Ga? We want to know, you conquered them, sir?
Oh, yes.
Imaswen went to Ga. You saw it, I have the video. Imaswen went to Ga. And the people of Ga told Imaswen, they said it was by the glory of God they escaped the Oba from Benin. That's where they come from. Okay, the people you said you captured, and people say they come from that Igolomigodo, and you say you captured them. That is confusing to us now. Eh? Eh?
When it's time to bury your father, let us
know. No. So tell us now. You say tell us another city you capture. The people are watching. They want to know their history. The people who you trace their history, they ran away from Benin. You say you capture them. Okay, where is the 200 tan? Oga, I will give you 2,000 euro. I will sell my life and give you. Tell us the 200 city you capture. So that now making them here waffle then. Tell us the 200 city there were captured. If it were not the Urobo, the Isoko, the what do you call these people, the Isha, the Akoko Edo, the Gara, where do you captured? Because you capture people. They want what capture? We want to know.
Watching my game, Andorra versus England, we just got 4-0 now.
La what do the MC? How we better have a la we are in the move MC. Inigo no.
I'm sleep, please. I don't know my number or whatever.
Okay. Okay.
I believe strongly you have to go with me. I may not recognize you.
Okay.
I don't have your picture. A picture of Nicky and I don't know. But anyhow,
okay, where's it? Where's it? Anybody want to make it?
Want you to expatiate on that. And second, the Oba for describing the installation of the school as sacrilegious.
Okay, very good. Unfortunately, there's not enough time, but I will go briefly to where I use that phrase. Prince Oromia came to invade Igolomigodo in 12th century AD. During the invasion, they didn't succeed. He deliberately defiled, raped, and impregnated our daughter, Princess Eyimide, which gave birth to the first Oba of Benin. So the whole of Oba Ewuare dynasty, they are illegitimate, they are illicit, they are burnt children. They are not supposed to. The Oba of Benin is the son of our daughter. And how can the son of our daughter ruling us and still insulting us? That's why we said that those who live in glass houses should not throw stone. Besides that, it has never happened in the history of Benin. Oba Eredawa slept with his own sister Ikoyeme, an Oba daughter, to produce the current Oba Ewuare II. It's an abomination in Benin. It has never happened. It has never happened. It's so strange. Then, that is even the worst. He himself has even done worse than what the father did. He's always attracted to his sisters, to his siblings. He has had children from his direct siblings. He's sleeping with virtually all his siblings in the palace. This is an abomination in Benin for a brother to sleep with his sister. It has never happened before. But today it's very common in that over there. And they are stood there. How can somebody live in a glass house with throwing stone? It is wrong. So it is therefore annoying to hear them saying that my own king is saint. His installation is sacrilegious. When the person talking to person sponsoring this campaign is even more sacrilegious. It's almost sacrilegious. That the son of our daughter today is our king, and we are worshiping him. We are not dragging the stool of the Oba Benin with them. We are not interested. Allow us bear our father name, which is Ogiame. They quietly stole it without letting us know. By 1968 edit, Ogiame was already a gazetted king. Of them.
Ogiame has not paid.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
So in the course of your presentation,
Yes, sir.
you used two phrases.
This audience.
And
Hello.
Not true story. I want you to expatiate on that. And secondly, why did you say caution the Oba for describing the installation of school as sacrilegious?
Okay, very good. Unfortunately, there will be there's not enough time, but I will go briefly to why I use that phrase. Prince Oromia came to invade Igodomigodo in 12th century AD. During the invasion, they didn't succeed. He deliberately defiled, raped, and impregnated our daughter, Princess Eyimide, which gave birth to the first Oba of Benin. So the whole of our Ewuare dynasty, they are illegitimate, they are illicit, they are burnt children. They are not supposed to. The Oba of Benin is the son of our daughter. And how can the son of our daughter ruling us and still insulting us? That's why we say that those who live in glass houses should not throw stone. Besides that, it has never happened in the history of Benin. Oba Eredawa slept with his own sister Ikoyeme, an Oba daughter, to produce the current Oba Ewuare II. It's an abomination in Benin. It has never happened. It has never happened. It's so strange. Then, that is even the worst. He himself has even done worse than what the father did. He's always attracted to his sisters, to his siblings. He has had children from his direct siblings. He's sleeping with virtually all his siblings in the palace. This is an abomination in Benin for a brother to sleep with his sister. It has never happened before. But today it's very common in that over there. And they are stood there. How can somebody live in a glass house be throwing stone? It is wrong. So it is therefore annoying to hear them saying that my own king is sent. This is 1979 Ewuare Treaty. Now, third from either right or left is the current Ogiame of Utanta, Richard Isco, Senige JP. Only direct made children are allowed to play this role during. Thank you for coming, and we hope. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
My people agree to now. Good morning. I know say this one where I want talk now go peel now well. Yes. Now truth, now so true they beat and I not go blame me. Obi get many chance to lose this election because you get many chance to lose this election, give either PDP or APC. Yes. More than listing. If you now look at people where they support Obi now, youth where be say they never vote before and they don't even get PVC. So don't do their PVC now, they never feel get them. Some don't do, they can say, the PVC one now do if you now don't do before. When that time now, when they don't allow them do the PVC, they can say people will do again. They not feel use am, but e no go count. Me na example of people wey dey support Peter Obi wey no get PVC. I don do before. Now, if you go say you want go do PVC, they'll come tell you say may you go your village where you for fair do before. How many people want travel from where they dey now? For how many years want go collect PVC from their village? You see all this 1 million march wey we dey do, not really necessary. It's not necessary at all. It's not even dey important to anything. Not dey important. Obi supporter na first timer wey never vote before. Now if they support Obi pass. You see people when suppose they enter now those trenches where be say they fair no waiting be politics. We don't know waiting that they call umbrella and broom. You see all those ones. Now all those ones we suppose they campaign they enter, not be all those city. We not get PVC, but tell ourselves the truth. It not be say I know where that day where they do Lagos. So what I want to do, you just say make I go they interview people whether as they support so they get PVC. I know say many people don't agree, talk and say they don't get PVC. But the one you come and call they do 1 million man, they do bra. It go shock you now if you not cry for PVC now. It go shock you now. Election result go shock you now. That time people will not vote go come and say they rig election. They not rig election, you not get PVC. You know, not talk now. Not talk now, na quiet. And again, Obi supporters, 40% they abroad though. Those one not they call Nigeria to come vote that day. Una know. How many Obi supporters go they where they abroad, where go buy tickets, say yes, they come because of election. They just they support with math. And now people where they abroad, now even they watch waiting they happen pass. All these trenches and market women, all those villages, they not they watch waiting they happen online. Now the truth be that too. You see all this card now, APC now don't they share recharge card, they give people. Yes, people they collect so that people now go come they like them. Yes, they'll say that people will because people never see guessing. At this point of in time, people need to give what it belong to Caesar. To Caesar. All those are where Obi said they're not they give shishi. They need to give shishi. Oh. People when get their village, now need to give shishi to them. Oh. Yes, so because those one get PVC. And now forget say that June or July that they throw away people PVC. And now for this Lagos, if you never collect PVC before and you not come from this Lagos, don't forget and say you not collect them again. You understand? If you know say you do, it go hard before you get. I say if you reach where then they do PVC, they'll ask you which type you be. If you not be from Lagos, they'll tell you say me go where you did. And I still believe say they'll still give that same the same message to everybody for their state. So wait till I call the talk now. First timer. See, trench is not too low, Peter Obi like that. Same with village. But see, they'll soon start to the share rice now. Now those village people, they not want use as see waiting be food. They'll collect them. They don't know waiting be obedient. They want check country. For their med country still they okay. This one when me they talk small. So people they will go collect 500, 200 to take vote for APC or PDP. I beg, make they disburse money. Mona enter these trenches. Now those are they important. When I start to do all these guys, they do rally. Now they do campaign, no PVC. Sebi na honorary hand want to go vote. I know say una not they like to they hear the truth. Now the truth where I just say I can't talk today be this. You understand? If you not know so na like love Peter Obi. This rally supposed turn to protest, say may they give us PVC. Because now waiting want to change the country with that. Not be honorary man, not be to come dress, come and come they show chat for social media. I got the year now say una not see PDP and APC. They not get time for all this noise where they do. Yes, so they know what they do. They don't did this game before. We the youth, we are just new to this system. So we better do the way they do. Yes, men we do because people where does Obi get money. In fact, people don't support Obi and the money plenty. So he reached to take share, give him that to the share, go villages and all those trenches. So make them to know Peter Obi. Yes, now what will they fight for? If you cannot beat them, you join them. Now this one get PVC, what suppose they enter. Since they say they don't want to give youth PVC. So now what we supposed to be this? All this 1 million match today, 1 million match tomorrow. When una not get PVC, una tell una say the truth now. Me, I not get. I can't talk and that the reason why I not get. And I never fail even vote before. And a lot, 50% where they campaign now for Peter Obi. What it be 50%? About 70, men I not too happen. Not get PVC. That's just the truth. Una don't do, una don't collect. Una don't collect on a PVC. No. Never collect. Then the 40% where they say, me I just say the rest 30 where they that side. In fact, people will get PVC now for Peter Obi we want to vote now should be 50%. There are plenty supporters they Europe. Those one where they Europe, they not be human being. I beg more na share this video. Now the truth just be that one. More enter trenches, more enter these villages because they're not villages. Waiting they used to their life for them. Now they get PVC. Waiting one call they tell they say Peter Obi and they know they give shishi. Which one? Don't call who get rice. Oh, don't vote for who get rice. People go vote for 500. Mark this word. That's why I will talk and reach my people.